Thank you. Thank you everyone for welcoming me, and thanks for IFU Summit also for authorizing me to come here to present you this topic that is really important, which is mainly the IFU shift. We talked before about digitalization. So now let's have a concrete example, because we will really make you testing also the solution here. So first, I wanted to ask you, maybe by raising hand, who is reading IFUs when you are opening a product or buying something? Or maybe you are reading that just, oh, you are. So we have 1, 2, 3, not all, but we have some people. So, okay, so paper has some time to be still. So maybe the idea here is also to tell that usually people are reading IFUs when there is really a problem, when they really want to find a solution, when they really want to understand how something is working. But sometimes it's difficult to find the document, mainly because you lose it. It's somewhere on a cabinet or anywhere. It's outdated also, it's an old version. You have also some, you have maybe seen those IFUs, big IFUs with small fonts, a lot of languages, and also the fact that for manufacturers it can be also cost in terms of environmental cost, but also cost for creating, shipping, and all the logistics that goes with it. So mainly what EU has done, they have created legislation. It's not a new legislation, it's an old legislation that was updated many times. We had lastly the version 2025 that was just out. The previous version, so authorized, the 2021 authorized that we had IFU for specific products, like implantables with accessories, like software, or like devices that contain some screens that you can have the instruction for use directly on it. And with that, they also ask the companies to have some other requirements to follow. So you cannot just have an IFU, you have also to have some requirements to follow, which are, for example, risk assessment. You have to define the risk of using your product, using your IFU for this product. You have also to put in place some solutions in case this person is not being able to look at that on a screen. So you have to have also the possibility to ship the IFU, which is not good, but yeah, they have to give this solution. You have also to provide with this instruction for use the control of the documentation. We have to know what is the version that you are providing electronically. We have also to provide the language access. Mainly you can have multiple languages in one document or multiple documents within one screen. So you can also have that. And lastly, you have to keep that IFU on the system for 10 to 15 years, depends if it's an implantable or not implantable. So what's the 2025 version included now? They said that, okay, there was 4 categories of products that were authorizing IFU, so it was not a lot. So now what they said, okay, we will expand IFU not only for those 4 categories, but also for products that are for professional use. So if your product is made for professionals, then IFU can be used then for that, which opens a lot of perspective for hospitals, for clinics, for centers that are using multiple products. They don't need them to get all those products by package. They can just have electronic version and it's sufficient. So Europe has started, but it's not the only one that has started this journey. We have Australia, which has an active guidance about IFU. We have Japan, which is also inserting that in the norm for also pharma. APAC, so Asia Pacific, with neutral market access and also e-labeling. We'll talk about e-labeling just a bit after. And also US FDA, which is also authorizing that. So this is mainly other regions. But if we now look at Africa, we have some initiatives from the MHRA, for example, AMRH, for example, where with guidance, talking about the requirements for labeling, and there are some initiatives, but we are talking about it. It's not like in the law. We have also EDA talking about e-labeling for medical leaflets, so it's also like a start. And we have MECOMET that is also issuing a position paper about IFU and why IFU should be used. So this is mainly some start to use or to initiate the ball rolling. and want to see many more about that. So why now, which is most important, why Africa should use EIFU? Mainly it's about accessibility. If you are in a big hospital or a small hospital, if you have no access to all the languages of the instruction for use on your documents, if you have maybe some issues to find the leaflet, as I say, in the cabinet, or it's lost or it's outdated, then here you have the possibility to just, with one click, one scan, to find the EIFU, which is immediate. You have also the infrastructure. We had in Africa, also, and in many countries, we had sometimes the gap between any technology. So instead of waiting for countries to have landlines for phones, now people are going directly to mobile phones, which is maybe improved in terms of technology. Here it's the same. We have in Africa also some solutions that maybe even for countries or locations where there is not a lot of internet access, there are other solutions that are available for bringing the instruction for use. And this is something that can be really important because this is helping also areas that have less possibilities to then access also EIFUs without having a big, huge infrastructure. We have also the chance that other regulators have also put in place those laws about EIFU. So here, as we talked about reliance, harmonization, this is also a chance that you just harmonize what mainly is already done by other countries, which makes it then easier for you to have the authorization to have your products in the market, because it's mainly following exactly the same rules as other countries. We have also the environmental, as we said before, and cost. Then it's helping also to reduce the cost. No need to purchase a lot of paper, to print a lot of IFUs, kill a lot of trees, and make also the logistic to bring all those documents to the people. Just as I said, with one scan, one click, you have the documents that is directly there. What is also important is that you can update the EIFU directly, automatically. So this will also bring trust to patients, also traceability. Mainly, you can, if there is a change of the EIFU, you can directly look at it, look at the last version, and then click on it and look at the information that are inside. No need to wait for a new document to come or a new version to be arriving to your place. And the last one is also for manufacturers in Africa. With this solution, they can also, as we said, reduce also all their costs in terms of logistics, in terms of language translation and everything, and print more paper, print more documentation for it. So this is a chance also for Africa to then go to digitalization without too much burden, because everything is nearly in place. So mainly what is requested by the authorities is mainly that you are putting this system under a risk management process, where you are verifying that everything is in place and that there is no risk of issues when you are using this system. So for that, you have a lot of requests that are technologic, like cybersecurity, like having a backup solution in place in case one of your servers is down. A lot of things have to be in place, which can be also a burden for companies that want to put in place those systems, but they are necessary to just keep everything going correctly. So, should you invest on your own EIFU platform? As we said, it's great to be used, but then to be implemented, you have a lot of requirements. So what we have done, we have created a platform called easyifu.com, where you can mainly get an EIFU directly. So if you have a phone, you can just scan this QR code, and you'll find directly an EIFU on your screen. You can download it directly, you can have it on your phone, and then you can even go to places where there is no need for internet, so that you can use it directly. So the idea of here is that just with one scan, you can have an EIFU. Inside this EIFU, you have multiple versions, you have multiple versions in terms of version 1, version 2, but also languages which can help you for that. So there you have this screen with languages, you have the versions that are happening here, there, and mainly you have the EIFU that is directly visible. As long as you have a PDF file, you can close that inside and it's working. So EasyIFU, it's this QR code that we showed to you, but it's also directly a URL, a short URL that you can just put on your system to have the solution. And lastly, you have to put also, you can put also this QR code on your products, on your label, packaging, and then directly people can scan it and have all the information directly with one click. So mainly this with the information, you have the QR code, you have the URL, and then you can directly use that. So Easy IFU is also having a free test version, so you can test it and verify if this is convenient for you. Lastly, what we are trying to do with the IFU, we are going further with e-labeling, so we try also to work on that, so to reduce the size of the labels, but having just one scan to have all the information that are not critical. Use AI, instead of you searching for the information inside your IFU, why don't you just ask, is this product made for children? Is this product good for this person that has this kind of disease? Why should you look for maybe a 30-page document just to find this information? You can use AI and you can have that also. Vocal IFU for people that cannot read very well or are blind. So maybe they can just have the IFU read to them instead of them trying to read it. Or video IFU for people that prefer to see a video on how to use a product, like me, instead of reading, so you can just tell me how to do that and I will just apply it. So these are the next things that we are working on. And mainly, what I want to say at the end is Europe created the rules, so I hope Africa will use them just to be in advance also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Monir, for all this future coming. Okay, I have one specific questions with all about the internet connectivity in some countries. If there is any problem, how could this be bridged? You've mentioned one statement that it can have a solution also in your presentation.
Yeah, as I mentioned, so for example, yeah, there are some rules in terms of no accessibility to connections, which are paper version. So this is a problem where, for example, if you don't have access, you can still normally, by law, ask the manufacturer to provide you the IFU and then to have it. Or, as I told before, you can use cache of your system to then download the document directly and use it at the place where you have to use it. But yeah, there are still some progress to do in terms of how to bring IFU to places where really there is no connectivity at all. But yeah, there are solutions like that. But if you ask to a paper copy, maybe it can take a few days to arrive, so it's also a solution. I hope there will be no emergency, but if there is an emergency, maybe IFU is the one that you can directly get without looking at everywhere to find it.
Thank you again, Mr. Monir. Okay, there's a question.
Hi, it's me again. Okay, do we agree that not every medical device will have an IFU?
Yes.
We've got, and I think it's something that we need to remember. We have got, in some countries, legislation where it says medical devices must have an IFU.
Yeah, correct.
So we've got, just for people's interest, we've got things like procedure packs won't have an IFU because a procedure pack is definitely designed for a Caesar or whatever it's designed for. We also have other items like a walking stick, crepe bandages. First aid kits don't come with an IFU. So I think we need to be very cautious when we write our guidance documents that we look at the bigger picture with the diversity of the devices. Thank you.
Yeah, no, yes, you have some products like my glasses. You need some medical device, but there is no need of IFU because as there is an obvious use, I will not have to read an IFU to understand how to use that. But yeah, you have products where IFU is needed, and many these are also can be eligible for that. If it's a product that you buy in pharmacy, for example, and it's for your usage, you are not a professional, there is maybe no IFU on the product, you have to have it in paper. But as I said, if it's a professional use, this can be an advantage for hospitals. Instead of receiving 10 times or 20 times the same IFU on the boxes, they can just scan and they have also less burden about that. So don't hesitate, use easyifu.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.